Hello, hello. This is Jen. I hope everybody's good. I'm here with an energy update, so welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you're not new. Thank you for being here. So I hope everybody's doing well. I know it's been rough for a lot of people, including myself, but I don't know if you felt the shift about 5 days ago or so. Um, I think it's related to the full moon. I say I think because I didn't like analyze this. I just felt the shift, and it was a very welcome for me. Um, we are in an energy that is a little bit more calm, and my message here today is take advantage of that calmness that we have this week. I don't know what's going on in the astrology. As I often say, I'm not an astrologer, so I don't check these things, but I definitely do feel them like all the rest of us. But this week is calm. This week is a week of peace, a week of going within, a week of staying true to your mission. And I'm not talking about your life mission, I'm talking to your mission, the one that you have right now, the one that you're working on right now. Stay true to it, stay aligned to it. Don't pay attention to the outside interference. Because there's a lot. I almost said there's a shitload of it. There is a shitload of interference from people talking shit, from people saying yes, yes, yes to your face and then talking shit behind your back, from people being totally disconnected that they are creating interference in your life. I could tell you a few stories on that of what I've been through in the past 3 months, of how people are so not listening, so disconnected, so out of it, that they put me through in a lot of pain. If you've been following me for quite some time, you probably know that I've been dealing with back issues and back pain all my life. I finally found the source of that pain, which is my jaw. I didn't say anything about it before because I didn't want to. Now is the time to talk about it. So for 20 years, I consulted with physical therapists, chiros, osteopath, massage therapists, doctors, name it. I spent way much more money than I should have. And when I say that, I don't even want to count how much money. But what I can say is that it was so much money given to people that it created a lot of anger inside of me after learning that my jaw was the issue. Of course, I was happy to learn. And how did I learn? By changing dentists. And right after taking the x-rays, she was looking at me and she goes, "Do you have back pain?" So I was really wondering what was going on at that time. And then she looked at me and she goes, "Did you fall a long time ago?" And I answered, "Yes, 20 years ago." And she goes, "No, you've been like that all your life. You should have had braces as a kid." And at that moment, I had multiple emotions all at once. I felt lighter and I felt delivered from my search for the answers, but it also came with a ton of anger towards these people that I consulted and never saw what was my issue, especially my past dentist. I mean, I cannot blame the massage therapist for not understanding that. I cannot blame the physical therapist, but I can blame the shit that came out of their mouth when they were treating me. I could write a book of all the stupid stuff that these people told me, and I think it would be a very funny book. Maybe I will. I don't know. But it came with a lot of anger because to me it felt like time was stolen from me, that money was stolen from me, And especially when my dentist told me you should have had braces when you were a kid. So I'm in my mid 40s. Can you imagine how many dentists I saw in my life that did not see this? And it's their job to care for the jaw, but they only care for the teeth. That's a really big issue. Really, really, really big issue for people. So I could not keep going on with that anger inside of me. I did what I needed to do. And for me, it's a whole process to deal with anger. It starts with looking at myself and trying to forgive and accept. Accept first and then forgiveness after. But for some people, it was just impossible for me to accept what they have done to me. It came with a lot of flashes of souvenirs, memories coming back to my consciousness of being in front of these people and saying, it hurts here, here, there, and nobody like got it, especially my old dentist. And I'm not here to blame him. I just want to expose him and expose my story, because it's a story that took all the resources from me for quite some time, for too long actually, for way too long. But it's also a very positive story because it made me the person that I am today. It made me understand spirituality because I knew deep down inside, I knew that there was a reason and that it wasn't psychosomatics like everybody else told me during those 20 years. Because my research started 20 years ago when I fell and I hurt myself and the pain never went away. Prior to that, I had pain, but I was told, oh, it's just growing pains, it's gonna go away, stuff like that, but it never did, never did. So for 20 years, every week, sometimes up to 3 times a week, now you can count how much money I was putting into that. I would consult with either a massage therapist, physical therapist, sometimes all of them together. I had to lie to every one of them because they didn't want me to go see another person. They wanted to impose on me their protocols and their way of doing, and it wasn't working. And when I was saying, yeah, but it's not working for me, they would impose something else that was not aligned with me. I just went through this with my last therapist. I decided to break up with her last week because she's like that. She can't understand how my body functions, and she tries to change me instead of working with me. So when I show up in her office, it's impossible for me to show up and just receive a treatment because I have to manage everything that comes out of her mouth. And that's a really big issue. Why am I telling you all of this today? Because we went through a major full moon this weekend, and we're going through spring equinox for whoever's in that part of the world, and we're going through like a major eclipse on April 8th. This is all part of my story. This is all part of my path. And I'm hoping that stories like mine can inspire people, motivate people, support people into whatever they're going through, because there is a silver lining. There is a bigger picture, and that's the point. We all need to remember that there is a bigger picture than whatever is going on in your life. And all this time, I knew there was a bigger picture in my story. All this time where I lost the support of my family, I lost friends, jobs, boyfriends, because they couldn't understand what I was going through. And they were the kind of people telling me, well, you should do this. Just take the meds. You'll be fine. And I was like, no, I'm not going to take meds. A really strong painkiller will destroy my liver, my stomach, and is not doing any good for my injury. I'd rather go to the root and solve it from there. So this is a message of support and encouragement. If you find yourself in a situation like that, please do consult with your intuition and only listen to your intuition. Only, even though you create backlash, even though you're being thrown out of people's offices, listen to yourself. Had I not done that, I would be high on I don't know what kind of meds right now, but I wouldn't be the person I am today. I would be a lifelong big pharma client, which I chose not to be. Not that I have anything against it. I do, but that's a different discussion. Some people do need meds, and I'm not saying that all meds are wrong, but I am saying that in today's society, it seems to be the answer for everything when there is answers at different places. Not everything can be answered by Google or Chat GPT or any kind of AI. Sometimes the answer comes through our own intuition. And people, it's time to connect to that, or to listen more, or to connect even deeper. Depending on where you're at in your life, on your journey, if you have not included, or if you are not including your intuition in your everyday life, and that includes with your spouse, kids, friends, family, colleagues, in your work, in your everyday consciousness, please go ahead and pay attention to that. Go ahead and sit down for 5 minutes and meditate and inquire on how you can integrate your intuition more into your everyday life. Like I said, if I had listened to all these people, I would be a mess right now. But I listened to that voice inside of me that was always there. It never quits on you. It's always there. Through the hard times, to the good times, it's always there. Sometimes it's a gentle whisper, so gentle that it's hard to hear because there's so much interference around us. That's usually a sign that you need to take a step back, regroup, go meditate, go connect to yourself, because you're losing yourself to others. And some people are so much in distress that they're going to do everything to take you down with them. And it's not because they want to be mean. It's not even conscious for most of them. It's just a defense mechanism to help them stay up or stay, in this game. But obviously, it's not a way to deal with things. But anyway, so this eclipse, I've talked about it in my past videos. I still don't have a lot of information on it, but what I'm sensing is a new energy that will be brought to Earth by people that are light workers and willing to integrate and embody that new energy. And it's an energy of love. So basically, it's what we've been working for so long. For so long, we've been waiting for that moment. It's going to start very soon. It has started for a lot of people, in fact. And if you've been through hell in the past few weeks, few months, maybe you're preparing for that. Maybe you needed to clear all that shit out to be prepared for that, because the message that I'm getting today is be prepared. Be prepared. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. There's this form of excitement that my spiritual team is transferring to me, saying, look, this is what's coming, like the golden palace kind of thing. The era of let's break shit down, let's build the new, let's not give a flying fuck about what other people are saying about ourselves. Who cares? Who fucking cares? What matters at the end of the day is my consciousness. It's how I feel about myself when I wake up. It's how I feel about myself right in the middle of the day. It's how I feel about myself when I'm cooking dinner for myself or my friends or my family, my kids. It's how I feel about myself when I go to bed at night. Those last few minutes before you fall asleep to go in a different dimension. That matters way more than everything around. So that's also why I was talking about culture in my last video, because a lot of cultures are really big on being nice to your face and then turning around and talking shit behind your back. In fact, it's so popular that, Even people from these cultures are talking about it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but isn't it time for that to change? I mean, if you stop doing it and a bunch of other people stop doing it, maybe it's going to change something on the collective. There's the theory of the tipping point where when there's enough people that have changed, we reach a tipping point where the collective can follow. We're all one as a big family here. So, I mean, if you're hurting because this is going on for you, I'm hurting too. In a way, because I'm your sister, because you're my brother or you're my sister. But I can also be hurting because these people can do the same things to me. And they have, by the way, they have. So, I mean, I'm not hanging on to that. That's not the point at all. I just wanted to point that out. I mean, this eclipse is going to bring like a wide new energy. That's the only way I can describe it. Wide. It's on a mass level. The entire earth, the universe. See it this way. Source is nudging us to move forward. Source is nudging us to be aligned with the cosmos, with the universe, which we are not right now. We are not. And we need to be, to have a better experience and existence on Earth. So this eclipse, what I'm seeing, and it's a very visual, like, it's a really big visual. What I'm seeing is they're showing me how codes are going to be delivered to people right at the base of our spine, and we're going to need to unpack these codes to embody them. Everyone is going to have like a different code because we're all part of the same puzzle and we work as a whole. We work as a big family, as a unit, and my piece is going to help your piece, and so on, so on, so on. So we are called to do our work, stay aligned, stay grounded, transmute the shit. And mind you, at least it's going faster than the past. I mean, the amount of anger I had to shift in the past few months would have taken me years before. I was able to do it in months because I chose to stand up to myself and to speak to the people that I needed to speak to, like my old dentist. I spoke to him. I asked him about him missing a really important diagnosis for myself, and he wasn't able to answer. In his mind, I'm okay. I have no issue. And that's fucked up. I have no other words to say what it is. So this is just a man stuck in his ego, unable to admit that maybe he went too fast, that maybe he was like driven on a specific thing, because what he was telling me was, I'm trying to find kind words, but I can't. What he was telling me was such a big amount of bullshit that the other professionals that I consulted after him were telling me the exact opposite. So for example, he was telling me this and that, and then I would go see a different dentist and they would tell me, no, this is like excellent, like it's in excellent shape for you. That's not the issue here. So when I confronted this man, my old dentist, he just wasn't able to be out of his ego to meet me halfway and to work with me through this. But just the fact of talking to him and to see how limited he is helped me shift that anger. So my message here is listen to yourself. If you feel called to talk to someone, either a professional or to the person that hurt you, go ahead and do it. Of course, there's a way of doing it. I'm not saying like make a scene and be aggressive. There's a way of doing it. And it's by doing so that we help each other out. At this point, I don't care much about my old dentist, but I'm sure, because I'm being shown, that the conversation we had an effect on him. Even though he didn't want to admit to my face that he was wrong, and he did everything to prove to me that I was wrong and that all the others were wrong, that kind of conversations leave an imprint in someone's subconscious mind. And then that keeps on being unpacked in that person's unconscious. And it can have a positive influence. And also, why I chose to do that, it's to help my brothers and sisters. Because if this man did this to me, he's doing it to other people. And he will do it to other people. So I had to stand up for myself and think about other people, because I could have chosen to just like leave a bad review on Google and that's it, which I did, by the way, but I went way above that. So what I'm saying here is that this full moon we had this weekend and this upcoming eclipse, and I did not check what's the moon cycle in March, but I mean, we're gonna have another full moon. This is all part of the plan. The plan is unfolding as it should be. I'm still having problem talking because of my jaw thing. It's unfolding the way it needs to be, at the pace it needs to be. That's why sometimes we feel that pressure that everything is going so fast. And sometimes it's like, whoa, everything is like so slow. I'm bored. Take these bored moments to work on yourself, to up-level your game in whatever department you need, to learn something new, to solve something, to talk to someone, to clear something, so that you can be ready for the next thing, because the universe is ready and is there to deliver whatever you need. Not necessarily what you want, it's what you need. And it's ready. And if you've been through hard situations where you don't understand what the lesson is, reach out. Reach out to someone who can help you see clearly, or reach out to the person. That too is going to, whoops, sorry, I'm losing my mic here. That too is going to help the collective. If you have a difficult conversation with someone, I don't know, that you've been seeing or dating and it didn't work out, and you still have like questions in your mind, reach out to that person. It's very healing to do so, to have like an honest, authentic conversation, provided that the person wants to, of course. But if you can't have that, talk to someone. Working these issues out inside of you is your door to freedom, is your door to feeling better. And sometimes we cannot do it on our own. Sometimes we need to speak to someone, and that is absolutely fine. So that's it. I'll be back with more stuff, but that's it for now. So thank you for being here. You can follow me on social media at Indigo Girl on Facebook, Indigo Girl 555 on Instagram, or you can reach out by email at indigogirl555@gmail.com. And until the next time, be well.